Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is kind of a short video, just building the first iteration of the Not So Berry Gen 1's house. I went in, I am using lot traits to make it a little easier for me, and I did keep this a micro home. I was under the false impression that the tier 2 micro home didn't have the double skill gain, but it does, but it's too late to change it. I've already recorded this. I've already, worked on figuring out all of the editing and stuff. Plus, I really like it. I think it makes sense for Adam to live in just this really small home that's really cluttered. I think it fits their personality. The first, I don't know, like 3.5 minutes of this video are just me making mistakes and doing things that I will change later. Like that roof doesn't stay mossy. I thought it would add like a cool mint feel to it, and it didn't. I just didn't like how it looked. That room back there is the world's smallest bathroom because, again, I thought I only had 32 tiles for this, so I was going to make it the world's smallest bathroom that's still functional. The kitchen completely changes. I really, at this point, was just blocking down and making sure I got the necessities in. So the kitchen changes, this bed changes. I'm also building in the dark for no reason. I tend to do windows last. Usually I do lights first, but I was so focused on adhering to the mint theme that I just did a bunch of stuff that I end up undoing or redoing. And so here is when I finally start to get kind of this is where I finally put in the lights, but I finally start to get the vibe of Adam's house. In a second, I'm going to totally redo this kitchen here. And even this kitchen, the appliances don't stay because at the end I realized I have enough money for better appliances, so I might as well put them in. And I really should have done that for the bathroom too, but I don't mind when bathroom stuff breaks because it's easy to fix and it's money when you get the upgrade appliances. I decided not to start this like a rags to riches, just because in the challenge rules you're allowed to use like free real estate on to find a house to live in. Instead, I kind of kept to the starting funds of when you start with a new family to build this house, and I ended up with some money left over, so that's nice. I wish there were more of a cohesive color theme throughout this, but also I don't think that Adam is the type of person to care if all of their furniture matches or not, despite all of it having a mint or green theme. I just kind of think it's their favorite color, so they just buy whatever they buy. I finally get to putting the windows in, and God, the windows going in, I spent forever later in the video trying to find curtains for these windows. I normally don't put curtains on because it's not something that I think about, but also like I don't do a lot of building, as you can see by this build here. So most of my builds are downloaded from the gallery, and I just switch up the furniture or I recolor the furniture. And I don't. I want to get built. That wasn't English. I want to get better at building. So my challenge for myself in the Not So Berry challenge is not downloading anything from the gallery and trying not to live in apartments. I know the orange generation, you have to live in an apartment, and a lot of people for the red generation will move them to San Myshuno just because that's where like the political hub is. But I'm gonna try as much as I can to avoid apartment living, to force myself to build houses, build tiny homes, and things like that, so that hopefully I get better at doing it. This is where I spend so long looking at curtains and eventually just go with, I think, probably one of the first ones that I put up there. And I even go back and change some of the curtain stuff later in the video too. But eventually here, I've separated all of the decorations by green so that I can start making this home feel cluttered and lived in and not so bare bones. I like to do just looking at all the decorations at once is a little bit easier than searching for something maybe that I'm looking for, because I don't, that's how you find the hidden gems of stuff that you can use to decorate with. I think I hit a wrong button there, and that's probably why that happened. But I just try some stuff out. I love adding aprons in. I found those at one point, and now in every house I've added an apron in. I try to keep this like very sciency. I added that little alien guy in with all the science posters and everything as well. Also, the decoration box that never goes inside any of my houses. I never have a good place for it. It always just goes. It just goes outside, usually hidden or by the trash can. And I'm trying to get better at landscaping as well. Because I never build, that means I never landscape. So my landscaping leaves something to be desired, especially in this build. I'm hoping to build it out as we progress. And here I went in later and deleted that last batch of ivy that I put in because I didn't like the way it looked. But I liked, since I don't have any windows in the bathroom, I liked having that accent on the back of the house as well. Of course, got to put in the fire alarm and the thermostat, which I always forget. I also don't use a lot of hanging lights. I wanted to try some in this build, but don't really find any that I like. And this is the lackluster landscaping I'm talking about. You can see me try out a couple of things, but it's the desert. I don't really know. I try a couple different terrain paint things here. I'm colorblind. I can see it better now that I'm editing that actually was changing the desert, but I didn't think it was. And I go in and change the roof, and that's really the end of the build. So thank you for sticking around, and I look forward to doing this challenge.